see if this should. Following. Or transmitting for some reason. I don't know why. That's kind of weird. Okay. Yeah, it has signal, you dolt. Right here. Huh. Did I give it the wrong URL? Hey! We're doing great. How are you? Been a while. Trying to get set up here. Having some issues with one of my streaming channels at the moment. I don't know what's going on with it. Always a pain in the... Ugh. No. Yeah, unfortunately it has been. Not happy about it, but, you know, that's been going on. Huh. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for some slight more stability at the moment. While I understand it's fairly stable, um, yeah, it looks fun though. I can't wait for Nyx myself. It's gonna be awesome. Finally, the bit rate. Bot rigs. Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of wondering how long it's gonna be until we get the rest of Nyx. Hopefully, not long. I know the innermost planet's gonna definitely be the most complicated one. That may take a while. What? Wow. Okay, yeah. I am not doing a giveaway today. Yeah. Apparently, YouTube thinks I'm giving away something. That's funny. That is funny. I wish. Um. Yeah. That's better. Game going crazy. All right. What are they even gonna do? Well, what was I even gonna do? Oh, that's right. We need to talk about what was announced earlier in the week regarding the monthly report. And then we're going to jump into a brief preview of Nyx, since I unfortunately have limited amount of time tonight. I at least want to show you guys what we're going to get when we get Nyx. So, without further ado, let's get the ball rolling, shall we? Alrighty. A lot of people are saying, okay. So before I forget, here, window capture. There we go. I want to click off media source. Hang on. There we go. There we go. Better. A little better. Looks a little better. A little cleaner. Okay. So, we have several updates. We're going to start with the roadmap roundup, which was yesterday. Hold on. We're going to look at all com links. So, first we have This Week in Star Citizen. I haven't been on in several days. So, the Day of the Vara has come to an end. The Frontier Fighter finale is ongoing. Tech preview engineering is ongoing. The shorthand of it is. And the PTU for 4.4 is also in progress. On Tuesday, which would have been 3 days ago, they published the monthly newsletter and subscriber comlink. Wednesday, which was 2 days ago, the roadmap update. Wednesday, they also look forward to the October monthly report. Thursday, which is yesterday, takedown started. Today, we get the weekly newsletter and a sneak peek of what's to come. And tomorrow, Bar Citizen World Tour stops by Prague in Czech Republic. So, a lot of stuff going on this week. This week seems to be a lot more active. So, we're going to start with the subscriber flare for the month, which I gotta say is very Mad Max looking, and I love it. The Misfit Bonfire jacket, kind of cool looking. I actually dig the kind of spikes and plates and kind of thing. Wouldn't look too out of place in a Japanese or urban, place, right? The Warlord Throne. And the Headhunter collection. Yeah, that's cool stuff. Okay, moving on to more important stuff. We're going to move on to the monthly report for October of 2025, which everybody has wanted to see for a while. AI content. They've supported several initiatives for the upcoming 4.4 patch, including landing zone fixes. While technical issues prevented the complete implementation of these updates, they will be added in a future patch. We shall see. As unveiled by the CitizenCon Direct, the team supported the local AI support setup for Levski. They also captured and supported the setup of additional voice packs to support future social and mission content. Discussions with the Combat AI team kicked off combat voice packs with a plan to capture new ones in the upcoming year based on the latest version of the behavior. The goal with this new approach is to consolidate FPS and dogfighting triggers while specializing recordings to feature on specific groups. Last month, AI features continued to iterate on first reaction and usable animations. In particular, those where items are carried. They also fixed crashes relating to human combat, changed how NPCs are scanned, and how they react. Accuracy calculations were simplified, whereas the value used to tweak them are now easier to understand. This will also include a fix to the fire rate of burst in single fire weapons. Good. Numerous bugs. Numerous bugs were fixed for the Yarmandi, including those introduced by late in the day action refining and implementation of arena reset functionality. The team also supported serialization of skill extenders and began to support the early design considerations for a boss variant. So there's another variant of the Yarmandi coming out. Excuse me, there's probably a alpha version. Yarmandi animations were also set to vastly improved, including the beam, bite, death, and emerge sequences. Timing, posing, and blending of attacks were enhanced to feel more natural and threatening. Technical and visual bugs were also addressed, such as weak spots, jitters, and animation playbacks. The AI team made improvements to navigation mesh, including the generation algorithm. They also updated navigation links specifically to the traversal behavior when NPCs go through manual doors, elevators, and interruptibles. The team that implemented the first working version of the Flight Pathfinder through the voxel grid. Understand, Chad, I'm not that great at talking about technical stuff. Suffice to say, they're working on a lot of AI stuff for navigation. The intelligence team is working on a lot of stuff for scripting. So, perimeter for Mission System 2, Star Script, and other things. Animation, they worked on the Yarmandi alongside improvements to the Copian. They also discussed dog capture with animal trainers. Ooh! Interesting. So, making them a pet or domestication, maybe? Interesting. Did you hear that, Benito? We may be able to have pets. That's cool. Last month saw a major push. The facial animation content for 4.0, 4.4. It's included new animations for the returning ATC character named in September's port. Okay, so they're preparing voice work for a new mission giver that will not appear until a later patch. They're working on various armors for a new gang and in-game rewards. Progress with a heavy armor and clothing. Okay, in the UK, they supported the release of the Stinger, Paladin, and Grey's Market Shiv at CitizenCon Direct. Now we're on the big part. The Hammerhead and Aurora continue to be brought up to modern standards. For the Hammerhead, design are currently setting up the revisions, including the addition of blast doors throughout the corridor and updated component placement. The Aurora is currently awaiting downstream support, particularly audio and VFX, as these feature some of the oldest in-game assets. Damn! The whole B is currently being prepared for its white box review, with the final touches being made to ensure it hits the required functional criteria. Both ironclad models and the command module progressed well into gray box, with geometry and lighting updates to the modular kits, helping set the interior tone throughout. I think this is the ironclad here. 4 unannounced ships are progressed through October. The first is on track for its final review in early November, while the second is art complete and currently with the downstream team. The third, an upcoming variant, passed its Lodo review. Following this, the downstream teams began their tasks ahead of its final review. Art was also complete on another all-new ship before it continued down the pipeline, with paints being created alongside a full pass from Q&A. Another vehicle, the Grey Cat UTV. Wow! I missed this, which was briefly shown during the STV, had entered its white box phase. Dang, I forgot about the UTV. That's old school. Entered its white box phase. Finally, the UK team pre-production kicked off on the Anvil Liberator. This phase is before official production begins and aims to get a solid base for the wider team, used for further estimation and concept requests to aid in smoother delivery. Elsewhere, the RSA Perseus had a large-scale developer and QA playtest this month to check its robustness and intent in combat, which was a great success, so it's probably done. And the white box continued on the Kraken, with more developers moving on to it as other projects were completed. So the Kraken will probably be done pretty soon. That's nice. Core gameplay, pushing it forward on the inventory revamp where players can add weapons mod equipment, including tractor beams and med guns. We're bringing back the ability to have 2 weapons stored on your back while you hold a 3rd one in your hand. Wow! That's nice. The team also worked on different inventory tabs and floating inventory slots, kicked off the earlier stages of capital ship repair, rearm, and refueling. This involved getting started on technical documentation to properly break down the necessary tasks. Whew. Spent the entire last month building the economy of Nyx and giving this character. As part of this, mining, refining, and shops receive passes to ensure the right stories tell through balance and numbers. Okay, they're talking about a lot of Genesis stuff here, but nothing really specific. Mission design. Huh. Well, okay. I like this idea. Mission design worked on the recent limited time The Frontier Fighters finale. It's included missions in Pyro and Stanton alongside changes to the tracking tech in the resource development or resource drive event, which allowed players to contribute to phases of contracts and earn rewards. With players updating the UGF and distribution centers to give greater future control and bring them to par with current design. This is something Level and Design will continue to update each time they use older locations. So these are going to be updated. Good. The devs also added several more locations, including the space-based ship graveyard, which was updated to support the ship ambush archetype. Additional ship graveyards and UGFs were added to generate more missions, supporting the increased player cap and new players. Welcome to Nyx mission progress. The system-to-system hauling's being worked on. Narrative. Last month, the narrative team focused on the final preparations for the release of Nyx. Since Levski was first added to the Stanton system long ago, we have eagerly awaited the egalitarian society settling into its proper place among the stars. We have been coordinating with design not only on the featured mission shown off at SitCon, but on dozens of other contracts that become available to players once they enter the system. Narrative team. Narrative also worked on its branding and environment art to create unique environments, told storytelling, and design throughout the new locations. How much longer is this? Next year's new content. The online services progressed with Tier 1 recovery and early instancing work. R&D. A lot of work going on basically on back end. VFX. That's pretty cool. This beam laser. Yeah. So the roadmap roundup was not that big 2 days ago. It was kind of short. They updated Wicklow, neutron cannon art, and external freight elevators. Now all 3 systems are getting Freight area, freight elevator. So that's really the only update for that. And now IAE. And there's the new Perseus. Isn't that ship beautiful? There's the Paladin. Overgunned Perseus and Stinger. Look at that, chat. That is a beautiful ship. Glad I own one. Well, days, chat. 12 days. It's, well, 13 days. About 2 weeks. So, 13 days, that is Thursday the 20th. Yep. Why is it that? What's that weird color up? Sorry, I don't know what that was doing. Okay, so this year we have RSI, and is the first day and 2 days. Origin is next, followed by Drake. Followed by Drake. And then all the smaller manufacturers like Grays, Attack, Asperia, and the Alien manufacturers. Kruger, Mariah, Misk are the 24th and 25th. Anvil Aerospace is 25th and 26th. Argo, Solid Outland, Recat is 26th and 27th. Tumberon Crusader the 27th and 28th. And surprisingly, Aegis is by itself the last by itself ship. Odd. I'm wondering what the deal is with that. Gotta be a story with that. Let's go to the Traveler's Guide to Nyx. Nyx, welcome to the Nyx system. It's an unclaimed planetary system situated at the border of a dark nebula. At its heart lies an F-type main sequence star orbited by 3 planets and 2 sprawling asteroid belts. As you travel toward the primary landing zone, your path will take you through the Glacium Ring. The belt is home to many old and decommissioned structures like the Breaker Station and more left behind by QVE Planetary Planet Services. The Glacium Ring, or Nyx Belt Alpha, is located between 2nd and 3rd planets in the Nyx system. For years, miners from throughout the verse traveled to the ring to make their fortunes. The largest object in the belt is called Delamar, an enormous asteroid and home to the famous mining facility Levski. Levski, oh, my home, my beautiful home again. The system's primary settlement, Levski, is built into the large asteroid within the Glacium Ring. Once a mining settlement, Levski has evolved into a refuge for those seeking life behind the tightening grip of the UEE. Today, it stands as a symbol of independence and resistance, a place where ideals of freedom and self-government endure. Tucked away on the rugged terrain of Delamar lies Levski, a fascinating independent settlement with a story as bold as its founders. This off-the-grid haven was established in SEY 2655 within the bones of a long-abandoned QV Planet Services mining facility. Named after a 19th century Earth revolutionary, Levski was founded by the People's Alliance, a group of political dissenters who envision a society free from tyranny. During the oppressive Messer era, the settlement became a beacon for refugees fleeing Earth, Sol 3, and a sanctuary for those escaping unjust government persecution. While Levski prides itself on egalitarian ideals, its location and anti-establishment roots have made it a magnet for less savory visitors. Pirates, smugglers, and outlaws have all passed through its corridor. Despite this, the People's Alliance continue to stand firm, defending their view of freedom and community, which I think is a bunch of hypocrisy, personally. I'm just saying. Now this, though, I don't think is. The Tanaka Memorial. The entrance of Levski is dominated by the statue of an unnamed worker, holding the lifeless body of Anthony Tanaka, a child laborer who was murdered, who was, had his life removed by an advocacy agent in 2757 for refusing to, let's just say, manual labor after a 16-hour shift at a munitions factory. Footage of the unlifing was smuggled out of the factory and became a symbol of resistance to the growing members of the anti-Mesmer movement. If you're wondering why I'm using the terms I'm using, it's because YouTube is very on certain words, folks. And I hate that, but, it is what it is. The Tanaka Memorial stands as a solemn reminder the People's Alliance to never return to the UAE. Every year on December 3rd, Tanaka Remembrance Day honors the child whose act of defiance became a rallying cry across the empire. It's good looking statue. Mercy Hospital is Levski's primary medical hub, provides care and advanced treatment to those travelers and locals alike. Find everything from everyday supplies and local rare goods at the Grand Barter. Haggling is expected, the atmosphere is expected to draw is as much a draw as the wearer. The bazaar is also home to the iconic Cafe Musain. It's got some interesting stuff. Jinx Gin. That is a cool looking whiskey. Huh. That's interesting. So here's the shipwreck, rock breaker stations, municipal works, tactical strike group areas, and the planets. Here's Nix 1, which has caused quite a bit of controversy. A green yet uninhabitable planet undergoing an experimental terraformation process. Nix 1 may have an atmosphere that will let everyone breathe free. While their quality of life would improve substantially if they relocated to an inhabitable planet, some members of the People's Alliance are worried that access to an abundance of resource will undermine their collectivist values. Really, guys? And you like clinging to a rock? I know it's kind of an odd mindset. Nyx 2. The air of Nyx 2 is sweltering, stifling, and extremely poisonous. A smog planet located in the system's green band, it has been impossible to terraform due to technological limitations. However, the implicit nature of the world does have one benefit. There may still be an abundance of untapped resources waiting for those brave and industrious enough to claim them for their own. And then Nyx 3. This one's an odd one. Look how much of script there is for Nyx 1 and 2, yet not much for this. It just says it's an ice giant with a stormy atmosphere. Here's the thing. My thought is gas giants typically have moons. Maybe Nyx 3 has moons. Who knows? Anyway, we will see. I don't think it has moons, but we could be surprised. All right. So, did it ever pop up? Nope. Huh. All right. Well, huh. Okay. But he just disappeared. Well, let's see if we can pull up Levski or whatever. Yeah. Right. Here we go. let's see if it can. Good. There we go. All right. Where'd the sound go? Oh, I've waited so long to see this again. So happy to see you again, Levski. My first time being back here since 312. So it looks like the Vanduul have been attacking Nyx for 2 years now. Look at this, what it's saying on the screen. All right. Levski, I have returned. Long last. My home at last. If it'll load. Now I have gigabit internet, guys, and this is how slow it is. Also, look at the frames per second. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm at 8 frames. Oof. This first patch is just bad. Yeah. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. Wow. Come on. Is it? Yeah. 8 frames per second. Dear Lord. I've forgotten about lag ski. Can you get some more frames in here, please? There we go. So, well, what do you know? The asteroid hangers did return. Oh my god, this is bad. And I'm rocking a 3060 12 gig. So yeah. This is 5 years. Let's go. Wow. Holy cow. 5 frames per second? Holy crap. Yeah, I might have to wait for a later patch. Yeah, this is just bad. We have a Nomad. Landing vessel. Gladius. Cutter. Which... Kore. Yeah, this is yeah. I might have to wait for a later patch. Yeah, this is just. Here's the main disconnect. This is just yikes. 7 frames per second. Yeah.
Don't dawdle, let's go. I'm going to remove it.
Yeah. This patch is just abysmal. Well, it is wave 1 though, chat. I'll put it this way. We are right now at a latency of in the 20s and a frames per second of, holy cow, 8 frames. Oof. Yeah. This patch needs to get some serious love and buffing. Yep. This is, oof. Just walking around in Levski. Woohoo. I can tell you. This is the notorious place I remember. I remember this, chat. Almost 5 years ago. It was just as bad. Yep. Anybody else remember Lag Ski? I sure do. I do. Man. Ooh, this is just. I remember this. This is just. This patch is going to be a while in the oven. Much as I love this place, it needs some serious work. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad to have first PTU run, but man. This is, you can't even do anything. Can't even do anything in this patch. It's just so awful. Seriously. I'm not gonna ruin my computer doing this. Come on. Now it's not even closing properly. Come on. Jerk. Yeah. Hey. Hey there. What's going on? Hold on just a second. Yo, what's up, Squirreloid? Yeah. Yeah, wave one's up, Squirreloid, but don't hurt your breath. Yep, Perseus time. I'm really hoping the new patch gets a little bit more TLC between now and then, because 6 frames per second, bro? Really, man? You know? 6 frames per second? No, thank you. I'm not at all interested in 6 frames per second. "20 to 30 frames, you can actually do stuff. 6 and 8 frames? No way. That's what I was just getting in that patch. Oof. It is the first patch, though, so I'll give them some understanding with that. Yeah, they need to polish the garbage, yeah. It's going to be a hell of a patch once they do. Just watch. Especially once the other planets get added, too. Right now, it's just the Glacium Ring. Ah, sounds fun. Sounds fun for you, yeah. Sounds like something you would do. Definitely. Mhm. Okay. I guess it's nice, kind of, but okay. Yeah. That is true. Oh, my goodness. I didn't tell you this, Squirrel. Well, I haven't had a chance, really, but I found out my grandmother has Alzheimer's or dementia, or one of the two. She hadn't been taking my phone calls very much the last 1 to 2 months. And I've come to find out she has no phone service in her house. So I'm like, what's going on there? And I had to do a bit of digging. Come to find out, she's got a dementia. My uncle's somewhere in the wind. And I had to contact third parties to find out any information. So I've been running around with like a chicken with my head, with my, what, cut off, right? Ridiculous, man. Absolutely crazy stuff I've been dealing with. Yeah, it is. And nobody told me anything. Nobody. I had to do some sleuthing myself, and not a soul told me a word. So I'm almost thinking like some folks didn't want me to know. Normally, I don't accuse people, finger point, but it seems to me super suspicious, that nobody had reached out to me until I started asking some questions. If you take my meaning. Normally, I give a lot of people the benefit of the doubt, but not in this case, no. I mean, I understand not wanting me to be worried or fall like losing my mind, but I'm a 40-year-old man, Squirrel. I'm not crazy. I was worried out of my mind. Not even about me. More worried about my grandmother than anyone. Sorry to dump on you. I apologize. I really shouldn't be doing that during a stream. Either way, I got in touch with some people that knew what was going on. So that's all that matters. To me, at least. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to be on super late today. I was just seeing what the patch was able to do. Unfortunately, it can't do too much. Not in the state it's in. I was wanting to spend more time looking around even Levski current patch. Like 6 frames per second. If it were 20 or 30, it would be more manageable, but holy cow. That patch was just atrocious. Okay. Anyways, chat. Here in probably an hour or so. Actually, less. I gotta start getting probably here in 20 minutes or so. Oh, God, yeah. I'm gonna have to start wrapping this up, sadly, because I have a meeting late tonight. I hate it. Mm. Well, ow! Lag ski. The famous lag ski. Yeah. Uh, Well, where'd everybody go? Yeah. I would play more of the patch right now, but man, that lag. That legendary lag from hell. Man, I remember it. Yeah, Luna, definitely. Definitely. Lag ski. No. No, 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 no. Save yourself, Luna. It's part of the charm or the chime. I haven't had a chance to work on it. Yeah. Sadly, I'm wrapping up here because I have sad face. Yeah, alien hunting will be fun. Fun for the squirrel. Don't get cocky, Squirrel Lord. I've heard they're pretty tough. I don't even want to go to this meeting, but I have to, sadly. Boom. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors with Elite. Some people like Burr Pit think we may be getting deeper atmosphere planets with that Caspian Explorer, which would be really interesting, Luna. Because that's something I've wanted in Elite for many, many years. Wind, weather, maybe more interesting flora and fauna. We'll see, though. I don't think we're going to get that, but you never know. That game has managed to pleasantly surprise us with things. Yeah, before we leave off, Let's watch that little video, shall we? Yeah. You have a good one, Squirrel. Now, I want people to understand. I was going to say it was whatever the Akira evolved into. Hold on. The Akira evolved into something else in the 25th. It still looks very good, you know, for a ship like it, you know. I mean, yeah, it looks great. Whoa, now. Just a second, Luna. Hold on.
Roundup of Elite Dangerous news. We've got plenty to discuss today, from the recently released Type 11 Prospector to an update on the status of system colonization, including the return of a new but familiar type of station, a brand new ship, the first information on a significant new feature coming to the game.
Am I gonna do boo?
In case you missed it, great news for all the mining commanders out there. The ultimate modern mining vessel from Lakon has landed. The Type 11 Prospector launched into ARK's early access on the 23rd of September, and since then, commanders have been getting the most out of it in the recent Lakon Spaceways mining trials.
There we go, okay.
The Type 11 Prospector is a beautiful mining machine, but if you didn't know, it also packs some interesting modules to make your life in the asteroid fields of space that little bit easier. First of all, the Prospector houses a size 5 optional internal slot that allows you to house a brand new Mark II mining limpet controller. This nifty controller allows up to 14 limpets active at once, and the ability to launch Collector and Prospector limpets. Perhaps the more striking addition is the new Mining Volley Repeater. This new mining tool is only available on the Prospector due to its Mark II large mining tool hardpoint, and it packs a serious punch. This new tool fires specially designed projectiles to maximise the number of fragments extracted from an asteroid, granting a higher yield when laser mining. Also, whilst laser mining, you'll find the tool has a chance to produce a higher density fragment, like those found via abrasion point mining. What are you waiting for? Take to the stars in the Prospector right now, or head to elitedangerous.com/prospector to learn more about the ship and the brand new Galactic Edition, which includes the first ever animated. Greetings, Commanders! Zach here from Frontier with your latest roundup of Elite Dangerous news. We've got plenty to discuss today, from the recently released Type 11 Prospector to an update on the status of system colonization, including the return of a new but familiar type of station, a brand new ship, and the first information on a significant new feature coming to the game. In case you missed it, great news for all the mining commanders out there. The ultimate modern mining vessel from Lakon has landed. The Type 11 Prospector launched into ARK's early access on the 23rd of September, and since then, commanders have been getting the most out of it in the recent Lakon Spaceways mining trials community goal. The Type 11 Prospector is a beautiful mining machine, but if you didn't know, it also packs some interesting modules to make your life in the asteroid fields of space that little bit easier. First of all, the Prospector houses a size 5 optional internal slot that allows you to house a brand new Mark II mining limpet controller. This nifty controller allows up to 14 limpets active at once, and the ability to launch Collector and Prospector limpets. Perhaps the more striking addition is the new Mining Volley Repeater. This new mining tool is only available on the Prospector due to its Mark II large mining tool hardpoint, and it packs a serious punch. This new tool fires specially designed projectiles to maximise the number of fragments extracted from an asteroid, granting a higher yield when laser mining. Also, whilst laser mining, you'll find the tool has a chance to produce a higher density fragment, like those found via abrasion point mining. What are you waiting for? Take to the stars in the Prospector right now, or head to elitedangerous.com/prospector to learn more about the ship and the brand new Galactic Edition, which includes the first ever animated holo kit. It's been 8 months since we first offered up the keys of the galaxy to you, the commanders, via the system colonization beta. And what have you done? Everything we were hoping for, and more. You have currently made over 100,000 claims, colonized over 75,000 systems, built over
What if you get
270,000
carrot
facilities, and delivered over 7 billion units of cargo. Along the way, we've made a significant number of tweaks and changes based off your feedback and the data we continue to monitor here at Frontier. A recent change is the ability to demolish previously completed or in-progress construction efforts. So, if you're a commander focusing on just one system, you now have the opportunity to edit your system if you like. Another neat change from the September update is the ability to see system colonization commodity requirements when selecting a system on the Galaxy
Says
map.
that it was further
This means you can
refined
figure out
into
everything
the
you need for a colonization
Armitage
effort
subclass.
without having to make the trip to the system itself or keep a separate note.
Never seen that.
At this
shit
point,
before.
we're really happy with the state of system colonization, and we can confirm our plans for the mechanic to exit beta on the 11th of November with an update that contains a significant amount of bug fixes and quality of life improvements across system colonization,
Never heard of the
power play,
Armitage.
and the BGS. But what does the end of beta mean? For us, exiting beta means we're happy with the feature set and general state of the mechanic. However, this doesn't mean that we're no longer going to be monitoring the data
Never
or
heard of
listening
the
to feedback.
Armitage class.
With the mechanics and balance now firmly in a state we are happy with, the team can keep track of how commanders around the galaxy are getting on in their efforts to claim the stars. Speaking of claiming the stars, have you felt like a certain station type has been missing from Elite Dangerous all these years? You may remember a bobblehead we released last year as part of the Ruby anniversary celebrations. Did you catch the hint? We're excited to reveal that the Dodec station type is coming to Elite Dangerous. This new station type, that commanders who played previous Elite titles may recognise, will be unlockable for 50,000 arcs on the 11th of November alongside the update to system colonization. Let's dive into the details. The
I hope
Dodec
these
signifies
come
the
with at
current
least
pinnacle of
one
station
tank.
engineering, a dodecahedron-shaped behemoth from Brewercorp. Sitting at the Tier 3 level,
Dodec's
the
looking
Dodec
pretty
provides
big.
your system with a higher population and standard of living, as well as increased tech level, wealth, and development level compared to its currently available counterparts. Perhaps the main draw for commanders is the interest that human tech brokers have taken in this new type of station. This unique service will be present in stations for the first time with the Dodec, meaning your system can become a great hub for reinforcing ships with some of the best technology on the market. The Dodec can only be purchased once. When you purchase a Dodec from the game store,
Yeah, this
you'll secure an
information
instant
has
build
since
credit, which can be
changed,
redeemed
yeah.
at any time
Just
to
so
instantly fulfill the
everyone
commodity
knows.
requirements of a
This
Dodec station in your
information
system,
has been
provided you satisfy the usual system colonization conditions to place such a starport. Alongside this
Yep,
one instant build
everyone
credit,
can have it.
you'll also
Oh, I like this color. This is my favorite color of the Dodec. This dark red and silver looks good.
unlock the option to construct a Dodec just like any other
want
facility
them
within
to also
system
have a dark
colonization
blue.
via the usual resources. We can't wait to see this iconic staple of the Elite Galaxy stake its rightful place in the growing bubble in November. Next up,
Now for the
shall we talk
Caspian,
about a new ship?
which looks like Voyager, kinda. Well, actually, it does look closer to the ship you mentioned, Kira.
That is right. We're excited to announce that the next ship coming to Elite Dangerous is Zorgon Peterson's Caspian Explorer. Expanding on the legacy of the Mandalay, the Caspian is a large ship built for daring adventurers.
Look at the deflector shield up front. Wow, this is the bridge. This is very NX-01 design. See the NX design type-ish bridge? Or is it up here that the bridge is? I can't remember. I don't know. This is an interesting bridge.
Its signature rounded hull frames a panoramic cockpit that will offer its crew a breathtaking view of the stars as they chart the unknown. Assembled in the same shipyards that produced the legendary Panther Clipper Mark II, the Caspian Explorer's internal structure is compatible with some new Mark II modules, including a breakthrough frameshift drive that takes neutron supercharged jumps to a new level. Thanks to a sleek landing profile, the Caspian can also touch down more easily on rugged planetary terrain, defeating icy ridges, volcanic plains, or jagged cliffs. Mind that gravity though. You might even spot an interesting plating pattern on the hull, but we'll save that for another time. We'll reveal.
See, I think this is okay. Theory craft, Luna. I think this is going to introduce deeper atmosphere planets. Listen to this bit he was talking about here. Higher gravity planets have been notorious for a long time to land, right? So think about it. What else do higher gravity planets typically have? Deeper atmospheres. Planets like Mars are usually have very thin atmos. Because they don't have enough gravity to hold on to the gases. Right? I mean, I could be wrong, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm really hoping they introduce some new flora and fauna. And then there's the mystery and HIP, whatever it is. That's opening up November 11th. So we don't know what's going on.
Eating icy ridges, volcanic plains, or jagged cliffs. Mind that gravity though.
Volcanic
You might even spot an interesting plating pattern on the hull, but we'll save that for another time. We'll reveal more soon, but we're happy to announce that the Caspian Explorer is due to enter Elite Dangerous via ARC's Early Access in December. At the start of this year, we laid out the roadmap for 2025, including 4 new ships and 2 feature updates. We're going to take a little bit more time than initially announced to bring you the winter feature so that we can focus on improvements across power play, system colonization, and the BGS in November, as well as making sure we get the feature itself right. With that in mind, we're now aiming for an early 2026 release. But that doesn't mean we can't talk about it. We're thrilled to announce that the next major feature coming to Elite Dangerous is titled Operations. Operations are a new set of multi-phase scenarios for Odyssey players to engage in. These exciting new scenarios can take place both on foot and in space, and are designed to offer you and up to 3 other commanders challenging obstacles to overcome. Operations will give you a chance to explore some parts of Elite Dangerous never seen before. For example, one of the launch operations will see you explore the internals of a megaship for the very first time in a hostile environment. In one scenario, for example, you may start with high-octane ship versus ship combat, and after depleting enemy forces, you and the rest of your team board a megaship to continue the assault on foot, exploring newly created areas. The initial release will launch with multiple operations, with more being added over time and at varying levels of difficulty. In the long term, you can expect some operations to revolve around combat, some around mining, and more elements of Elite Dangerous as the feature expands. Operations will be repeatable, and completing them will give you access to rewards that are hard to obtain elsewhere in the galaxy. Whilst operations will now be coming in early 2026, as a first stage of this update, we'll be performing a balancing pass of on-foot combat in early December alongside the release of the Caspian Explorer that will include some AI improvements, which we'll have more to share on nearer the time. We hope you're just as excited as we are for this next step in Elite Dangerous, and we can't wait to share more. And that's a wrap for this show. Keep your eyes peeled on our social channels to learn more about system colonization, the Dodeck, the Caspian Explorer, and, of course, operations.
Looks like we have an interesting year coming up, Luna Mario. Yep. Very interesting indeed. We have a very interesting year coming up indeed. It's looking like it's going to be very interesting coming up soon. Yep. Anyhow, Luna, I hate to say it, but I have unfortunately run out of time. I'm going to have to yeah, I have a meeting tonight at 7, but I had to get ready for it, guys. Should have started a lot earlier today. I'll be on tomorrow with Astropub for the for his you know, his weekly stuff. I raid Celine Star Dragon. Is a good friend.